Welcome back, Royal Sussex Squad family. Today's episode is not just a breakdown, it is a dismantling. A full, unfiltered, truth-telling saga that exposes yet again how obsessed the royal critics are with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Not Meghan Markle, the actress, not Meghan the mother, not Meghan the entrepreneur, but Meghan Duchess of Sussex, a title she earned, a title she holds, and a title they simply cannot stand. And today, the meltdown over her name, yes, her name, shows exactly why the institution lost her, and why the world continues to cheer her on. Let's settle in, because we're about to take this story apart, layer by layer. And trust me, by the end of this, you will be shaking your head the same way we all do every time the UK media and their fringe commentators lose it over something as petty, as empty, and as desperate as Meghan simply being addressed properly. So picture this. Meghan is in a gorgeous Upper East Side brownstone. Elegant, chic, classic New York. High fashion, high culture. Everything that makes the critics choke on their jealousy. Harper's Bazaar is preparing one of their high-profile December-January covers, and of course Meghan is the feature. Why? Because she is relevant, powerful, adored, and always the cultural moment, whether they like it or not. The journalist, Caitlin Greenidge, walks in, and the home manager doing their job announces, "Meghan, Duchess of Sussex," as they should, as is correct, as is normal, as etiquette experts later confirmed, as protocol allows, as the world recognises. But the moment Meghan's title crosses the air, oh, you already know. The dusty commentators, the full-time Meghan obsessives, the so-called royal experts who have never even been in the same room as a royal, they start twitching. Their YouTube mics start crackling. Their jealousy starts sweating through their Wi-Fi. Because for them, Meghan being addressed by the title she rightfully holds is apparently a crime. But let's walk through this properly, because the meltdown that followed tells you everything you need to know about the hate-filled ecosystem that has followed this woman for 8 years straight. According to Harper's Bazaar, Meghan arrives for her high-fashion interview. Calm, elegant, nothing dramatic. A home manager politely announces her title, something completely normal for public figures with honorary titles. Nobody was offended, nobody was confused, nobody had an issue, except the YouTube commentators who thrive off creating controversies that don't exist. Caitlin Greenidge simply wrote what happened. She didn't mock Meghan. She didn't highlight it as a problem, she just documented the moment. But one critic in particular decided this was her chance to be loud, wrong, and embarrassing. Kinsey Schofield, the same commentator who has made a full career talking about Meghan every single day, jumped online, opened her mouth, and tripped over her own words as usual. She said Meghan should have demanded the moment be removed from the article. Removed? Imagine being so threatened by a woman's title that you want it erased. Let's pause here. These are the same people who cry that Meghan is irrelevant and has no influence. Yet they obsessively try to control how her name appears in print. They want her quiet, erased, titled incorrectly, or not titled at all. But at the same time, they want to use her name for clicks. Funny how that works, isn't it? Kinsey called the journalist an idiot. She said Meghan's team should have removed it. She said it was one of the worst representations. Worst representations? A woman being introduced correctly? That's the worst thing you've seen? Not the racism? Not the smear campaigns? Not the years of abuse? No, it's the announcement of Meghan's name. If you ever needed proof that the anti-Sussex outrage is fake, manufactured, and deeply insecure, this is it. Because the truth is simple. They hate seeing Meghan win. They hate seeing her respected. They hate seeing her addressed as royalty. They hate seeing her thrive without the institution that tormented her. But you know what I love? What you love? The way the universe always brings balance. Enter etiquette expert Micah Meyer. Unlike the YouTube critic who wakes up daily trying to get attention by criticizing Meghan, Micah actually knows what she's talking about, and she shut down the nonsense quickly. It is not unusual or improper for someone with a British title to be addressed by it globally, including in the US. She added that Meghan is widely known by that title. She added it is her choice how she prefers to be addressed. She added that her team was likely trained to introduce her this way because it is correct etiquette. Boom. Case closed. The experts spoke. The critics folded. The narrative collapsed. But let's take a deeper look at why this story bothered them so much. This isn't about etiquette. This isn't about protocol. This is about control. The UK media lost Meghan. They no longer have access to her. They no longer get to shape her image. They no longer get to define her, and they are furious. Every time Meghan uses her name, her title, her voice, her platform, they panic. Because every one of these moments reminds the world that Meghan is not the villain. She is not the narrative they sold. She is not the caricature they tried to create. She is still successful, still respected, still titled, still loved, still relevant, still unstoppable. This is why they react this way. Because Meghan is everything they tried to destroy. Thriving. Let's also talk about the hypocrisy of the "you shouldn't use your title" crowd. These are the same commentators who bend over backward, defending every other royal's title usage. When Kate uses Princess of Wales, silence. When Camilla uses Queen, crickets. When William uses Prince of Wales in business ventures, complete quiet. But Meghan, suddenly the world ends. Suddenly it's a crisis. Suddenly etiquette matters. Suddenly experts need to be called. Suddenly YouTubers are screaming. It's predictable. It's tired. It's transparent. And we see through every bit of it. What is truly hilarious is that Meghan wasn't even the one announcing her own title. She didn't walk in saying, "Introduce me this way." It was simply the home manager doing their job. Yet somehow they blame Meghan. Because in their world, Meghan is responsible for everything. Weather changes, earthquakes, traffic, headlines, someone spilling coffee. It's Meghan's fault. They want to control even the smallest part of her existence. And it's not happening. Let's also highlight something very important. Her title is her surname, given by Queen Elizabeth. Not taken, not stolen, not demanded, bestowed, and her children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, carry that name with honour. Let the critics choke on that. This whole meltdown proves exactly what we've been saying on Royal Sussex Squad for years. The hate toward Meghan was never about protocol. It was never about tradition. It was never about respect for the monarchy. It was always about resentment, about racism, about losing their scapegoat, about losing the woman they used to sell papers. They can't let go. Because without Meghan, they have no content. Without Meghan, they have no engagement. Without Meghan, they have no story. Without Meghan, they have no career. Let's look at the bigger picture now. Meghan is on the cover of Harper's Bazaar for December 2025, January 2026, a global fashion magazine with worldwide distribution, with millions of readers, with influence the royal reporters could only dream of. While they sit in front of microphones ranting for clicks, Meghan is doing cover shoots in New York brownstones, surrounded by elegance, professionalism and respect. That's the real issue. Meghan is moving forward and they're stuck in 2018. They are angry at a reality they cannot change. Meghan is royalty whether they like it or not. She is global, not local. She is influential, not bitter. She is regal, not resentful. She is thriving, not clinging to outdated titles. She is respected, not mocked. She is admired, not tolerated. Meghan wins because she lives her life. They lose because they live off Meghan. Now, let's zoom in on one more thing. Meghan did not complain. Meghan did not make this an issue. Meghan did not react. Meghan did not clap back. Meghan did not release a statement. Meghan didn't even address the drama. Because she doesn't need to. Her success speaks, her presence speaks, her calmness speaks, her titles speak, her work speaks, her impact speaks. This is why she will always win. And let's not forget, the backlash isn't real. It's artificial outrage created by the media to keep their dying industry afloat. Real people don't care. Real people admire Meghan. Real people celebrate her accomplishments. Real people see her as an inspiration. And Harper's Bazaar knows exactly that, which is why they chose her. Meghan's title will always sting her critics because it reminds them that no matter how hard they tried, she's still standing taller than ever. So, to wrap this up the Royal Sussex Squad way, Meghan was introduced correctly. The critics embarrassed themselves publicly. An etiquette expert shut them down. Meghan stayed classy, and the world continues to move on, except the ones who desperately need her name to stay relevant. And now, Sussex Squad, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop a super thanks to support the channel. Your support keeps this platform strong, independent, and ready to clap back every time the haters come for the Sussexes. We speak truth here. We defend fairness here. And we uplift Harry and Duchess Meghan with every story we tackle. Stay tuned for the next episode. And, as always, much love to the entire Royal Sussex Squad family.